Hey, I'm Rachel, this is Let Me in the Library. Today we're doing the booktube anniversary tag. I am celebrating my 4th year on booktube, so I don't think I've ever done this tag before, and I've always intended to, so let's do it! This is a tag with a couple of questions that I can use to talk to you about my experience on booktube. If you're asking why I'm wearing these, it's just because they're super comfy and I like them. It's an aesthetic choice, okay? I'm not listening to something at the same time. I'll do that challenge maybe another time. This is the anniversary tag. The first question is, how have you changed from your first video to now? There's a lot of things that have changed in my life. I will say, like, personally, I was in a really toxic relationship. Now I'm in a really healthy relationship. I was in a really toxic job relationship. Now I'm in a much healthier job relationship. So in terms of my personal life, a lot has really significantly changed. But I also think that a big part of how I got from the bad stuff to the good stuff is booktube. Building a different community outside of my IRL space, but into the world of the internet was really, really incredible because I really felt like I was just being myself and that resonated with people, and I was meeting people from all over the world, and it was wonderful to do that. So I was really excited to build a type of community that I really felt a part of, then to also see, you know, everyone through all the challenges in our lives together. It was very rewarding to do that. So I think that's amazing. Video content wise, I do think that the way that I think of videos has changed. So when I first started making videos, I was a little bit nervous about how people would like my videos. Now I get it. Generally, like, I get how content creation works. I have spent a lot of time researching what works and what doesn't, how algorithms change. Overall, I have tried to just stop paying attention to numbers because I don't think that that's healthy. I know that it is important in terms of if you wanted to build this up as a profession, but this is really a hobby for me, and I know that. I've always known that from day one. So everyone kind of gets swept into the trap of the numbers game, but the best that you can do to try to stay away from that is great. And I think I've made a lot of progress in trying to unplug from some of those less healthy aspects. I also think that the things that I am willing to read has changed a lot. So when I first started my channel, I was a big hater about a lot of things, and I stand by those things that I hate. But I also was like, hey, I'm never going to read something by this author ever again because I hated this book. You would think that I would stick to those guns, but you know, if you know me, I will do anything for a buddy read. I used to be like, hey, I read Ready Player One. I hated it. I thought it was so misogynistic and racist and bad. Somehow I'm swept into hate reading the second book with friends. So now I'm going to be reading Ready Player Two, even though I never thought I would see myself here. The next question is, what video are you most proud of and why? I will always say the videos that I work the hardest on are the April Fool's joke videos, the ones with the fake book covers. I spent probably 24 hours actively making the book covers for that video, and it's just because I really, really love doing it. I often would question, like, is this that funny? But I was like, no, it's worth it. And I would spend hours drawing stuff myself, or trying to, like, build in designs from Canva and make these book covers. So I really loved how it turned out. Like, the video itself is okay, but it's really more of, like, the book covers and the creation of that whole process. I also really love my dice game. I kind of forgot how much I loved it until I just did it again really recently and was like, wow, this is a great game. And I just really love doing it every month. I think it's a lot of fun. So I like those a lot. All of my TBR videos I'm very happy with. I'm very proud of. I think also there was one I did maybe in September 2 years ago because I barely posted last year, but I think that was one I was especially proud of because that was when I was playing a little bit more with some of the different editing effects, and editing is a lot of fun for me. So any video where I've really spruced it up by changing some things, editing wise, are usually my favorite. What is your most popular video is the next question. The birthday book haul that I posted, I think 2 years ago, and I still actually am overdue for another birthday book haul video that I think I filmed last year and then never posted. So I'm going to post that. Book hauls always do well. So generally speaking, I think that that makes a lot of sense. I think my second most popular video is the bookshelf scavenger hunt collab thing that I did with a bunch of booktubers. That was really fun. I did that one with Steph from Stephanie Bookish, Shayla from Lala Loves Lit, the Roomies from the Roomies Digest. That was so much fun. I'm really, really happy with that video too. Another question. What was an unexpected surprise of being on booktube? The drama is always a surprise where I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you ruining your career? This is so dumb. You know, being on booktube just means we talk a lot about bookish drama, authors, you know, people behaving badly, and you would think like, you know,
you guys just sit around and read books all day. It's not that crazy. It's not that dramatic.
You would be surprised what people do and really shouldn't do. So that's always something unexpected, but I also think that pretty generic for people to answer, you know, the friendships that I made. But seriously, I mean, it's amazing that these are people that were strangers, and then now we're at this point where, like, looking back on everything, we've been through breakups, we've been through marriages, we've been through career changes, new relationships, through all kinds of different things that, you know, there's the good side, the bad side. Like, we have kind of grown into our, you know, like late 20s for a lot of us together. And it's really incredible that this is just born out of a bunch of people who say, I like books, I want to talk about them. And then going into each other's comment sections and being like, do you want to read this book together? And then becoming friends out of something like that. Like, you know, you can go from barely knowing somebody to like couch surfing in their apartment and really feeling like that is a true intimate friendship. It feels timeless, and I'm just very happy that I was fortunate enough to meet so many great people through this community. The next question is, what is the hardest thing about creating videos for YouTube? I'll say filming a vlog is pretty easy because I can just hold my phone up and say what I'm doing and then stop. But filming a sit-down video is usually harder for me. I don't know why. Like, this is really easy right now, but maybe I just have a problem with sitting down and doing it because these are usually longer form, and having to edit this later is always a big deal for me. Like, I love editing. That's actually my favorite part of the creation process, but actually needing to sit down and turn this raw footage into this beautiful edited final format is more challenging, I guess, for me. I think also a big part of it is just because I never have room on my phone. Like, I started to film this and then my thing was just like, hey,
you can't do that anymore. You cannot access your camera. You are at 99% storage.
So it's always about just having the storage space of like the equipment working or not working. The next is thoughts on equipment. What has been the most useful piece of equipment you've bought? I'll say this, every ring light I've ever owned has died or been in remission for, you know, after 8 months of owning it. I like that I have a ring light that technically works if I twist the wire in just the right way, but generally, no, it is not good. I do really like my tripod, which I don't have right here. You're sitting on a bench right now, and I'm just angling my back and trying not to hurt myself. So maybe that's why it's so hard for me to film sit-down videos, is my back hurts. I do like my tripod. I want to get a larger, taller one so I can actually film clips that aren't me like filming it and then like hiding my arm somewhere for an aesthetic like POV. I guess that's my answer. None of the above. I guess my tripod, which is pretty good. Next, have you had to deal with negative feedback or comments? How did you handle it? No, not really. Luckily, I have been fortunate enough to not really have any backlash. I don't think I usually talk about anything that's too dramatic, or at least if I do, it's like 2 months after everyone else has already hashed it out. So I rarely have anything negative. I try to let anything negative just, you know, roll off my back. I don't think it's usually that deep, but you know, it's still hard to ignore internet comments. I've been lucky to not receive very much hate, if any. Okay, the last question is, what advice would you give to someone thinking of starting YouTube? I have a lot to say. First off, and this is partially advice for my younger self, so if you are starting a booktube channel, the first piece of advice is like, just do it. But the real advice that I want to give you after many years of researching it and figuring out what works, you know, everyone's going to have a slightly different process, but I find if you script your videos, that will help you, even if you just script a little bit. I was about to do this video without anything, and I was like, how many times am I just going to go, I don't really know, and try to edit this and then be so mad at myself for having no idea what I was saying. So if you do a little bit of scripting, you'll build a little cohesion into your video, just some talking points, bullet points, so that you can go off of that and have something you're happy with as an end product. You can plan, but don't plan to the point where you're just iterating over and over again and you're making yourself crazy, because that's the time where you just should pick up the camera and just start filming. You're ready. If you're not sure what your footage looks like because you're filming on something where you can't see what you look like, take a test shot so at least you know what it looks like. You don't want to have to go refilm 2 hours of you talking to make a 30-minute video because you hate the way that your hair looks in the first take. And generally, anytime you think like, I'm gonna need to, do another shot, you usually don't really need more than maybe 2 takes to get a point across. And that's the great thing about YouTube, is you can just cut stuff if you don't like how it looks. Also, I will say a lot of people don't really care, so if you think your video looks a little bit iffy, a lot of times people are playing this on double speed or they're doing something at the same time. So again, it's not that deep. I don't think it's worth it to scrap a video just because you don't like a particular little piece of it, and I'm very guilty of doing this, but I think it's more important to post things that you care about and care less about if it's absolutely perfect. Perfection is definitely the enemy of done. I will also say an overlay from Canva will do wonders to instantly elevate your videos, and you can just use the free version of Canva. You do not need the pro version to do that. And also there's a lot of free things you can get off of YouTube, like those little cute sound effects that you can put into videos, or little sparkles and overlays, green screen stuff. It's all free on YouTube. I don't pay for anything that I put into my videos, so if you like that type of style, it's very achievable without needing to pay a large price tag. I do this channel 100% free. There is nothing I pay for other than every 8 months, I guess, I kind of think about buying a ring light and then I just don't. So I just use my same shitty ring light that barely works. Advice that I don't take, but I should, is to watch your whole video before you post it, because a lot of the times I have a really stupid editing error that I would have caught, but I was too lazy because my timeline looks crazy. So I'm just too tired to actually do it. I've been working on the video for 9+ hours and I'm like, I'm done. But if you do watch your video, you will probably catch those little mistakes and get a perfect final product, or a close enough to perfect final product. I will also say, don't be shy. I talked about being a little bit of shy filming in front of strangers, but I would say don't be so shy about making content. I think more people are doing it and they're more accepting of it than you might think. I spent the first year of my relationship with Matt hiding the fact that I had a booktube channel, and now that I have told him, there was such a dramatic thing where I sat him down and I was like, I need to tell you something. And then I left and I went to the bathroom and he was like, oh my god, like what's about to happen? And I came back and I was like, okay, I have a YouTube channel. Please don't leave me. Like, it's so dumb how we can like turn these things into a much bigger deal. Now he's very supportive of it just because he knows about it. So I would say don't be so shy about it that you're unwilling to bring people that you care about in on this very fun hobby. Also, if you're not shy about it, that means that you're willing to vlog things in front of people because they know what you're doing it for. Like, I used to be very shy about having a phone sideways like this because I was like, then people know I'm filming. But now if I'm just like, hey, can I film this for a vlog? Or if I just start doing this, they kind of like, they know what's up and it's fine. Obviously, you should probably check that people are cool with putting them in a video, because that's probably a law somewhere. At the same time, I would say protect your privacy. Don't tell your job about your YouTube channel. Also, be very cognizant of your sensitive personal information. So black out your address if you're receiving a package. Don't be afraid to branch out into things like TikTok or Reels, because those generally do very well and are very easy to make. Also, If you're filming with your phone, portrait mode is incredible. Just use portrait video and it will blur the back out and you will look so in focus. And that's what I've been doing recently. And I'm like, it's a world of difference. It's so much better. Maybe this isn't really content creation specific as far as how to make a good video, but I also think it's really important, even though you're starting a channel, to consider how much of your life are you putting on the internet and how much of it are you keeping private. What's your balance between the stuff that you do want to vlog because now you're capturing that memory and you're preserving it forever, which I really treasure, versus being in the moment and just experiencing it. And I think that that's really priceless. I think it's extremely helpful for my mental health to have time where I am not touching my phone actively for like 10 plus hours in a row, and usually that's on weekends that I'm hanging out with Matt and we're doing something else. Even if we're like playing a video game, I'm not doing anything related to numbers going up and caring about stuff like that, and that's been very helpful for me. And that's my video. This is the conclusion of this video. Thanks for watching me for 4 years, or if you just subscribed, for watching this. That's cool of you. If you've been here from the start, thanks for being here with me and watching me evolve into this anamorph different person all these years later. It's been very fun and exciting to make a return to BookTube and sort of see that everybody is still excited and willing to do things with BookTube now, because I know that this was something that was born out of the pandemic for a lot of people, myself included. I made this channel because I was lonely and I wanted to connect with people about something I cared about while we were all stuck indoors. And now it's really just become something special and really different. And I'm really happy that that hasn't disappeared just because the pandemic is essentially gone. I like doing BookTube and I'm gonna keep doing it. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Rachel, this is Let Me in the Library, and I will see you next time. Bye! My last piece of advice, which I'm about to do right now, is take your thumbnail while you're filming, because you will forget and you will have to just use a screen grab from the video later.